guys. My name is Tim Langford. I'm the National Director here at Gordon Marketing, launching pad for the Mortgage Protection Department that we are extremely excited about. With my background, why the Gordon family said I was the man for this position was because I've got the experience, and I am still writing mortgage protection while launching this department to the nation for our agents. But what is mortgage protection? What we want to do is to be able to keep a very short, extremely short, quick video clip here for you so that you understand where we're coming from. I actually put these seminars on live, and you're welcome to attend. We are also launching over the next 60 to 90 days. We'll be in about 15 different states. So look for the link, look for my contact. Let me know if you've got 15 or 20 agents that you want to roll this out to them. We're interested in talking to you. What is mortgage protection? Mortgage protection is very, very simple. It is a way that we write insurance, and yet we don't call sure that people understand that this is just simplified issue term. If you go into a home and you say, hey, I've got some new insurance I want to sell you, they're going to laugh at you, and you're going to leave without the objective here is to be able to protect your clients. We're not selling insurance. I know as contrary as that sounds, and it makes no sense, we're not selling insurance, guys. We're going to simply protect the family. We understand it as insurance. Your manager understands it as insurance. The family does not. Let's keep things simple. Actually, that's one of our mantras. We want to keep things simple. Look out for what's best for the client, even though with the mortgage protection works the same way as term insurance. However, we're keying in on a life event. One of the most largest life events that a person will go through is buying a home, getting a mortgage. So we want to make sure to protect that mortgage in two ways. Blast off those thoughts and come back to and say, how can I do this in a simple way? As you can see, the simple way is one of our key points. Don't bleed for your life insurance. The most important thing is protection. You're not swabbing, you're not peeing, you're not bleeding, and most importantly, you don't have to have a nurse come out and visit you. You don't have Big Bertha with her needle and her insurance when her whole role for the life insurance company is to find out what's wrong for you. We don't do that. And with way, you not only get more business placed, you get it paid quicker. The hard way, we want to say, don't F you to the clients. I have a church background, guys, so keep that in mind. The FU stands for fully underwritten. Don't fully underwrite your clients. Don't get Big Bertha out there with her needles, and you skip over the lab test results, you skip over the nurse, and you say, I'm going to get you protected. Why protect them? You protect them because over half get approved with fully underwritten FU policies. We want to get our clients protected. We want you to connect with your client and to be able to do what's right for them, not what is right for the lab or even for that matter, even for the insurance companies. Get what's right for your clients. What mortgage protection is not. It is not a method to find out how healthy your client is. That's not the idea here. The idea here is to protect them. It's not private mortgage insurance. We all know it as PMI. Important to know that that is for the lender, and it benefits the lender, of course. It's the homeowner. It's not an 80% loan to value. Now you have to have PMI, so skip that. There's nothing to do with home ownership. It has to do everything with client ownership. The idea is not to go for the top 20% in the nation, nor the bottom 20%. We are looking for middle America, and that's who we're servicing. Again, we'll love the movie Cool Hand Luke. In that, you'll hear Luke being told several times, Luke, get your mind right. It's not the Luke that you're thinking of in Star Wars. This is actually the movie Cool Hand Luke, and that's what we teach our agents. And we've got tremendous marketers that will do that. They will work with you on a one-to-one basis, helping you keep your mind right. It has everything to do, as you can see with the percentages, with having the right mindset. 80% of the time that you're sitting down with a client, it's not because you didn't know your product or you didn't have the right product or you didn't have the right pricing. It's because you got stinking thinking. Get out of that, get in the right mindset, then understand the in-home presentation. We even have a PowerPoint for that to help you go slide by slide so that a new agent will, day one, be able to go and present this, and 50% of the time he'll stumble and she will stumble, yet they'll get a sale 50% of the time with that in-home PowerPoint presentation or flip chart that we can help you with. 5% of the time it's knowledge. You got to understand your underwriting. You've got to understand the product, but it's 5%, 80% with your mind. I guess if we were going to not bleed for our life insurance, we want to keep things simple. I guess I would say our top priority is that bottom line on that slide that says fall in love with the basics. Make sure that you're falling in love with a very simple, basic understanding of what this is. Our mortgage protection lead programs, we're leaving it out there. It's going to be on our website. You'll be able to access whom I have personally been able to have a personal relationship with them because I still write it, understand. In 2013, I had a full-time job doing about 60 hours a week for that full-time job. I did 155,000 issue paid. With most of you are going to be on our street contract anywhere from 70 to 100 to 110%. That says a major volume of money that a lot of folks, they're always looking for that six figures. I surpassed that very easily with both positions, my full-time job and at the same time being able to write this type of protection. That 155,000, about 85% of it was on simplified issue paid business. Fun. And it was fun. You see a couple of the mortgage lead programs that we suggest. We'll go into greater detail during the seminar. We'll also go into it is not difficult, guys. This will be one of the most simple ways for you to go about getting leads. Fall in love with the basics. How do you do that? Well, the mindset all starts with that phone. You know, and I remember for the last 5 years that I've been specifically looking for more or been active in the mortgage protection business. That was not my friend. I've looked at that phone and thought, oh my gosh, that is an enemy. It's not. In the last year and a half when I did a little bit of a mind shift and I started saying, what's the basic thing here? If I don't pick up that phone, I don't take care of my family. And then the phone just started to shrink and shrink and shrink. This tells you if you keep your tone, you keep your mind right, the phone becomes a friend. The phone actually is a way to be able to say, using my hand as a receiver, and the receiver is on the phone, smartphone probably, right? But if you don't do this, you're broke. If you do this, you make money. Broke? Money. Broke? Money. Here, guys, no stinking thinking. Make the phone your ally, not an enemy. I go into great detail in my seminar when we talk about handling objections. I will use agents, seasoned agents who come up with hundreds and come against hundreds of objections. I will dismiss every one of them and still set an appointment with them because my mind is right and I understand where the client is coming from. I was always accused of having my feelings on my sleeve, and that's okay. In this business, that's a good thing because you're relating with the person on the phone, and as long as you can just somehow connect with that person on the phone, I always say if I get them to giggle or laugh, I got them. Same way with those objections. I'll go over in greater details.
Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Tim Langford, and we may be having some audio problems this morning. Would a few of you either text me or someone text me or on your question box, see if you can send a note to me stating that you can hear me or not. Okay, so I've got a note saying that you can hear me. This is good news. Okay, sorry about that. Hey, a wonderful Tuesday morning to you. The last Friday of the year, we are going to be missing our conference call, but a week from today, So the very first Tuesday of 2016, we are celebrating with kicking off a Next Steps webinar. So next Tuesday, I will be going over next steps, really a foothold that will take you and launch you with what I'm talking about today. Would encourage you to do everything you can to connect to next Tuesday. Just want to touch base with you with a couple things before we dive right into. I want to see dozens and dozens of our agents cross stage in 2017 as $100,000 earners. We are now in the process of creating some recognition. Not sure if that is going to be a ring or a very nice, expensive lapel pin that will state that you made $100,000 using Gordon Marketing Carriers in 2016, and we're going to have you cross the stage as $100,000 income earners. I completely believe that if you will sell out to this presentation that you see this morning, if you have never had $100,000 income year, this should launch you right into that. This should be able to give you the absolute concrete steps to be able to run a mortgage protection program and get you that $100,000 income. Let's see if I can adjust my sound a little bit further on my part here. See if this will help any. Hopefully that helps a little bit. So this Friday, no call. Next Tuesday, next steps, setting up lead programs. I will, for everyone who registers for that webinar, I will send you out our I believe it's a 38-page agent manual that you will have in your hands of step by step, as well as my in-home presentation and the step by step that I have there. Next Friday, we will resume our weekly conference call. So a week from this Friday, January 11th, we're going to have an agent on who was on about a month ago. So by the time that we have him on, it'll be 6 weeks later. But I love it when Josh comes on, and he'll be able to celebrate with you, with everyone, of how he has ran 2 to 3 days in mortgage protection leads and has made over $200,000 in 2015. In just the month of December, if you've had a slow month this month, pick from Joshua's brain. He made over $25,000 so far. When I was speaking with him yesterday, he's still expecting a couple more deposits, but he made over $25,000 in the month of December. And then finally, if you are hitting the ground running, agents who have over 30 applications in the next 3 months or the first quarter of 2016, if you have 30 applications and at least $20,000 in annualized premium, so that means you're going to do 2.5 applications a week. You're going to average less than $2,000 a week, so you're not going to be hitting 116,000 on this, but at least you can get a ramp up. My fourth quarter every year has always been my best quarter, so if you start slowly, don't give up on this. But in the first quarter, for those two events, 30 apps, at least 20,000 in AP, and that goes to our traditional agents. If you're part of an agency, that may be a little bit different, so I'll be sending out information if you're in an agency, but we will send you and a guest to at least Las Vegas on a 2-day all airline, all hotel, all food taken care of. So I want you to be aware of that and make sure. Let's see. I'm trying to get some feedback here. Let me see if I can take care of this.
That's, that's like buying a claim, or as Urgent say.
Wait, what?
And the premium
Stand by here.
That would be a staggering premium.
Hey, Asib.
I'm saying, she may be healthy, but she could drop dead in a moment and you pay one premium and expect to come off. So they would expect you to pay about 90% of the death benefit up front. So, yeah. Yeah.
Kind of sounds like we've got somebody with a mic open, and I don't see anybody's mic open. So if you've got your mic open somehow, please please recognize your voice and try to shut it off. Yeah, everybody has been muted, but I've got somebody who is on the call. Let me do one more thing. Please stand by.
Who am I speaking with? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I did that last year too. And yeah, right. Well, you have a policy on her. Is that the one you're talking about? It's 100,000.
Well, let's try it again. Hopefully that helps. So as we go on, let's dive right into this this morning. To $116,000 in 2016. Determine your why. Very short, very quick, 3 basics. And the first one is determine your why. I still have some feedback. BHAG, what does BHAG mean? BHAG is big, hairy, audacious goal. For I know of a lot of agents who have shared with me that they're used to a $40 or $50, $60,000 a year income. This may be your BHAG. This may be that big, hairy, audacious goal. You've got to quickly establish within the next couple of days so you hit the ground running. What is your why? Determine your why. Is it for your family? Is it strictly to be able to get out of debt? Is it for a special vacation? Is it for retirement? But you determine that why. We're going to move real quickly through these first 3. I want you to determine your why, tell someone, and be able to find someone. Tell someone if in the Christian realm, there's no such thing as an undercover Christian. You're either a somebody who's going to let other people know by your walk, by your talk, by your actions that you're a child of God. It does no good to light a candle and place it under a basket. You want to make a public. I'm saying all that to tell you, you draw the line in the concrete and you tell someone today who respects you. You respect them, and you're going to tell them today you're going to make $116,000 in 2016. You can't get there if you don't at least make that attempt. You're not going to be able to hit a goal without, if you go up to the ticket counter and you go up to Delta and you know you want to fly Delta and you go and say, I want a ticket. What's the first thing they're going to ask you? Well, where do you want to go? You can't hit a goal that you've not set. You're not going to set a goal with just thinking in your heart, well, I'm going to hit this. So I'm giving you some real good concrete step to put it in place right now today. Reach out to your team, reach out to your manager, your marketer, your spouse. Let these people know that you're hitting $116,000 in 2016. find someone. You want to find, it's been fun through the last, I'll say the last 5 years. This last year, 2015, I've just poured myself into this program, into our agents. So my production is probably by midsummer, I'll be totally out of the production. But it's been fun to have running partners and somebody whom I would call an accountability partner. Someone who, on a weekly basis, you can look in someone's eyes or you can have them on the phone and say, this was how my week went. And I am more than, I hardly greet you. It'll be easier if we can work it by text. You just send me, I had this type of week. I've got a lot of agents who send me on a daily, one that up in Michigan just celebrated, hey, just did a $1,500 Phoenix. I love those celebrations. That gives me juice. Find someone. And like I said, use me. If you don't have someone, then use me, but do it consistently, whether it's on a daily basis, but at least on a weekly basis. And I have had zeros on a weekly basis. I've never had a back-to-back zero, but if you do, what are you going to do? had an old friend that said there's going to be those who will strap up their boots, tie them up a little bit tighter, and get up and start walking again. Others will go over in the corner and pee on themselves. Sorry, but who are you? Are you that person that will call up your accountability partner and say, hey, dude, I've had an ugly week, a rough week. I've had 10 appointments and yet I didn't sell a single one. It's a law of large numbers. It's going to come back around, but you're going to have to get back up and get in the game. Find a running partner. Find somebody, whether it's on, somebody on our leaderboards that you hear each week. I am going to beat so-and-so. Anyhow, you see, I'm talking about finding someone. So you want to determine your why. You've got to be able to go and tell someone, now I want you to find someone. And really the meat of what I want to share with you is right here in number 4. I want you and everyone who's on the call this morning, you will be getting this this PowerPoint. And I'll even send you my PowerPoint slides so that you can, what we'll go into next week will be specifically plotting these numbers out, and so that you'll be able to manipulate these numbers. And you want to be able to know on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, how many applications you have sent in, how many annualized premium dollars you have written. But how do you do $116,000 a year? Right there it is. You're going to, on a weekly basis, these are just the averages. So your average on a weekly basis will be $2,231 in deposits. $2,231 in deposits. How do you do that in this program? You receive 5 to 10 mortgage protection leads. Well, I'm only getting 1 or 2 or 3. Well, then we need to supplement that. You need to supplement that. Be a business owner and say, I've got to, if you don't have a book of business, if you don't have, and we're going to talk about the 10 appointments, if you're not having at least 10 appointments a week, and I've heard from some folks, oh, I shatter that. I love you, man. I want you to be on our calls. I want people to hear how you're making more than 10 appointments a week. But you need to be receiving at least 10 to 20 age leads a week. You need to receive 5 to 10 final expense leads a week if you're not getting that 5 to 10 mortgage protection leads. Whatever it takes for you to make 10 appointments a week. Of those leads, so in other words, I'm saying supplement the leads. I've got agents who I'll fall short this year for the first time in 6.5 years of being in this business of doing less than $100,000 because I've ran approximately a half a day a week this year. I'll be around $80,000 issue paid premium running a half a day a week. And that is on an average of 4 leads a week. So what can you do with 5 to 10 mortgage protection leads? We'll talk more about that next week of how you can get those leads. I'm going to send out our lead agreement flyer with all the ones who have registered today. But right there it is, guys. If you're not, if you don't have at least 10 appointments a week, you're not going to hit $116,000 unless you're a big annuity producer, unless you are able to find that index universal life client that if you're becoming a whale hunter, sure, you'll have great years, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 out of 10, but I want you to become consistent. I want you to be able to bring home a consistent income, and that's how you're going to do that, is by this plan right here. Of those leads, if you're making 250 dials, we're only talking about 20 or 30 maybe leads a week. You don't need any more than 10 fresh mortgage protection leads a week in order for you to make a $2,000 income. And I'll show you that on my next page. How do I make 250 dials? I'll sit down and within an hour and a half, I'll have anywhere from 30 to 50 dials in on 10 leads. Follow that, okay? Because a lot of times you're going to have not only their cell number, but their home number and their work number. I've had and we only have a couple spaces on our lead where it says, here's our preferred number, here's a secondary number. I'll have 5 and 6 numbers. I kid you not. I'll have 5 and 6 numbers where people will be filling out, hey, if you can't reach me at this number, try me at this number. Remember last week what I shared with you, that's not a lead form. In my opinion, that's a sale. Now all we've got to do is sit down with that person and find the right product. And we've got those for you as well. And I'll be going over that in greater detail next week with Phoenix, Mutual of Omaha, and Gerber. Make those 10 appointments a week. I'm even saying you're going to have 2 no-shows. My no-show rate is less than 1. I still have no-shows. You still have boneheaded people out there that'll still within 48 hours either forget or just change their mind and not answer the door. You're going to have those. So make 10 appointments a week, sit on 8 appointments. And on those 8 appointments, get this, guys, I'm not even asking you to be a 50% producer. I'm saying that is average. I'm saying below average is of those 8 people who say they are interested in a mortgage protection program, I'm saying just help 3 of those families. Now check out this. Of those 3 families, write at least 5 applications. So you're writing, now understand, when we receive that lead, we are sitting either with a single person or a married person or a married couple. Or a significant other, but a couple. So of those 3 sales, I want you to be focused in on being able to help both. Even if in my situation where my wife is a stay-at-home mom, she takes wonderful care of things, of our home, of my baby girl Emma, of the entire trip that we do every year. She completely plans that out. So imagine what I would need to do in addition to my work. Anyhow, you see the point. When you're sitting down with that couple, you make sure that the husband says, well, I'm the breadwinner, or the wife says, I'm the breadwinner. I really don't need any coverage over for my spouse. You build value. You make sure that you go through the in-home that you're going to be receiving. I will send you not only this PowerPoint, but also my in-home form. And if you go through that in-home form and just slow down and enjoy that couple, you will, guys, there's no way that you're not going to be able to close at least 3 out of 8 homes with that in-home. It's just not possible if you're actually going through the steps. A lot of feedback. I apologize here, guys. On sitting with that husband and wife, getting at least 5 applications. If it's just a dad, maybe a dad and kids. If it's just a mom, be looking for a significant other. Make sure you're doing that on the initial dial. Have that person there, not just the person who filled out the form, but while you're setting that appointment, you might mention hey, I see on your mortgage that you don't have it. There's not a significant other listed. Try not to say husband or wife, um, because it might be a couple who has a wife and husband and husband. So be sensitive to that. I want to just help people without judging them. That's not our role in this business. Our role is just to help the folks who, when they die, we want to make sure that house is paid off, or they get sick or injured. They're able to have a disability product or an incredible product like living benefits. There you go. Dad and kids, mom and kids. It's fun to come out of homes. The most applications I've written in one home was 14 applications. Isn't that ridiculous? I don't want you to think that. I want you to have the blinders off, and that was on mom and dad, and I wrote them a traditional term. They wanted also, as you see down there in, I guess that's my AXI term and term, the next line, but I wrote a typical mortgage protection or a term on mom and dad, as well as a accidental and a permanent product. So I wrote on each mom and dad 3 applications. It was a long appointment. They had 5 children. We wrote a little child's policy on each child, and then grandma and grandpa was in that home as well. I had 14 applications in one home. Guys, that children application, even though your premium or your and this comes from Mutual Omaha, whatever level we have you at, whether it's from a 60 or 70% or 100% on your Mutual Omaha contract, your final expense is always going to be a little bit less. And then the children accidental policies, I think accidental will be your same contract level, but the children policy is going to be a little bit less. Understand, not to give up on that though. That child's policy, oh my goodness, you write a $10 a month child's policy, a wonderful blessing to that parent. God forbid should their child die, wonderful blessing on that child that she can have, or he can have $10,000 for the rest of his life for $10 a month. But what did that do for you? That almost paid for your lead bill that week, because that $10 a month policy just turned in $100 for you, or at least a fourth of your, just with that one child policy paid for. Let's say you got 10 leads, $400. That's 1/4 of your lead bill with that one little children's policy. Take the blinders off, please. Fall in love with all of these products. And then number 5, lots of opportunities. You heard a couple weeks ago one of our larger IUL, a tax-free life insurance product where they could get tax-free stream of revenue in 15, 20, 30 years. They can start withdrawing cash from an index universal life. Anyhow, make sure that you're not missing IULs, single premium whole life. That's the SPWL. If somebody will remind me, Josh has done a great job with several single premium whole lives. Guess what that does to your income, guys? Yeah, you're moving an amount of cash, possibly from a built-up cash value in their existing policy, and say, hey, how would you like to not pay premiums ever again? And we'll be able to sometimes double the amount. So they have $10,000 of cash value in a life insurance. Depending on their age and health, you can sometimes double that value, so it turns into $20,000 of life insurance for your client. They will never have to make another premium, and you get paid very, very well on that. Annuities, also making sure you take your blinders off on those annuities. I want to leave some time for some questions, but let me finish this slide here. What is this doing with 5 applications a week? You're sitting on 8 appointments. Remember, you've had 2 no-shows. I want you to be able to see a buying unit as a $100 a month premium. If that person has a cell phone, if they have internet, if they have cable in their home, they're used to $100 bills. Very quickly will you get your internet cable up with the advanced speeds to 80 and 90, $100 a month. Cable, oh, I don't know if I've ever been in a home that's not spending at least $100 on cable. That cell phone, I don't know if I've ever been in a home where they're spending less than $100 a month on a cell phone. So think of that person, if they can find $100 a month to watch Oprah, and they can find $100 a month to watch a movie, they can find $100 a month to make sure that they ensure that home will be passed on to their spouse, to their significant other, to their children. $100. I'm saying cut that in half. I'm saying don't always just go for that $200 and $300 and $400 a month premium. Those come off the books quicker sometimes than what I like, because people start to have a little bit of buyer's remorse a month or 2 months or just a couple weeks down the road. So you feel good about a $46.50 month of premium. What does that do for you? All you do is 5 applications a week of $46.50 per application per month. That gives you a $116,000 income. Sometimes I think folks and agents think about how this is an elephant to eat, the $100,000 income. Guys, it really isn't. Please fall in love with that line right there. You've got 5 applications at just $46.50 a month of premium. Multiply that out times 12 months, you have over $2,700 a week in deposits. I want to be real with everything that I share with you guys. I want to be real. Look at Jay. Maintain an 80% placement. So all I'm doing is saying that you're at an 80% placement, so that whatever reason that your client says that they lost their job or that they've lost their desire to keep coverage on their wife, whatever reason it is, I'm saying 2 out of 10 of your clients are dropping off the books. And yes, thank you, Kim, for bringing that up. This is based on a 100% contract. I know some of you guys, if you're part of an agency, are starting off maybe on a 40 or 50 or 60% contract. We should be rolling out. I was hoping still within this quarter of giving a real concrete way of doing, when you're hitting $5,000 a month in premium, of giving you a 5% month, a 5% boost in your contract level when you hit that level 2 months in a row. When you hit $10,000 of premium, issue paid premium 2 months in a row, another 5% bump in your contract. But the next slide that I go into, we will only show you as a 90% contract and include your lead cost in there. Maintain an 80% placement, and there you go. Look at the numbers, guys. That $2,790, multiply it out. Take away 20% of that, and then multiply it times 52 weeks. The $116,000 income. It will happen. Stop talking about I hope. Stop talking about I wish. Stop talking about I want. I will. I want you to be speaking with an authoritative voice. This is the slide that you're going to get in this presentation here. You will be able to put in your own numbers. I'm basing this on 10 appointments. On 10 appointments, yep, maybe it, there we go. On 10 appointments, giving you those 2 no-shows, and then saying that you're going to be able to sit with 8 persons. Saying that you're going to still just do 5 applications. I'm going to bump up the monthly premium, and gosh, I'm not even going to try to get close to 100. Let's just say $60 a month in premium. So almost half of what I feel that every client is able to do. But when you multiply that out times 12, you have $3,600 a week in submitted business. Check those numbers out, guys. This is real. 5 applications, averaging just 60. I average just slightly less than $90 a month per application. I write a lot of accidental applications, a lot of children's applications. I still average just shy of $90 a month in premium. That's $3,600 submitted there. What happens at a 90% contract level? I'm saying that even on 90%, even on a persistency rate of just 80%, and putting a lead cost in there of $618, giving you 15 leads a week, which I don't think you still need. But again, I'm gonna give you a worst case scenario. Look what you just did. $3,600 a weekly premium, lead cost of $618. Let's subtract that out of there. What does that do? That brings you down from $116,000 to $100,000. That still puts you over $100,000 of income. That gives you 15 leads a week. That gives you only at a 90% contract. If you're there, if you're below there, then go and have more than 5 applications a week. Guys, you should be able to do this 2 days a week. You will destroy this thing if you are an agent and you can work 3 or 4 or God forbid 5 days a week. I say that with tongue in cheek, of course, because my goodness, everybody else in the world sees that as a full-time income. I'm kind of surprised at insurance agents that we don't see a full-time 40-hour week. You put 40 hours into this business, guys. Wow. I look forward to either putting that lapel pin on your shirt, collar, jacket in March of 2017, because you're going to be, this isn't a rah-rah session. I didn't mean for it to be that, but there is just no way that you can't make 6 figures in 2016 with working. Let's just give you 3 days a week. You give me 3 days a week. And especially, we've got quite a few folks that will do your health, your senior business in starting in October. If you put 9 months into this business and you just overachieve and do 4 days a week, you'll make 6 figures before you go into your senior business with this type of activity. Guys, I sometimes I get too excited. I hope you sense my care and my passion to help you become a $116,000 income earner. It is not there because of the any other reason other than I want you to go. I did not financially need Gordon Marketing when the Gordons said, come aboard with me. And after several weeks, I came aboard in February of this year. I did not need this income. I don't say that braggadociously. I say that because of the next words that Dick told me, Dick Gordon. He said, you want to make a bigger difference in people's lives. If you want to go into the window of my soul, you have it. Yes, I'm being rewarded very well financially. Yes, I would not have taken this if it wasn't for that reason as well. But I had other avenues that I was able to take care of my finances without this. But when Dick said, do you want to make a bigger difference in other people's lives, he had me. Guys, I want to make a difference in, remember how the 3 things that I end every time that you hear one of these webinars or conference calls? I want you to make it happen for your income. I want you to make it happen for your family. And I always say, number 1 and number 2 will be taken care of if you make number 3 happen, and you make it happen for your clients. Those 5 applications there can change the world. And I don't say that with any sort of smile on my face. I'm in complete sincerity. Those 5 applications you see on that screen can change the world, at least someone's world. If I don't come home tonight, my wife would lose our home Let me say that because no, she wouldn't. I want to be 100% candid and honest here with you. The average person out there, they don't come home tonight without this coverage. They would lose their home. And hopefully they have IRAs and or retirement funds that they have that could take care of a mortgage. And hopefully you've been able to talk to them with a smarter tool or a smarter product with an index universal life, getting their money out of that retirement that is so in danger of losing everything. That's another webinar. But those 5 applications can change the world. That's why I do this, because I want to see you going out and making it happen in your client's life. I don't call them clients, remember. I call them families that need protection. If you will dedicate yourself, if you will draw the line in the concrete, not the sand, but you draw the line in wet cement and you help it dry, and you say, this is my defining moment, I will set 10 appointments a week by hook or by crook, whatever it takes. And remember, it takes those leads. If you don't have a clientele base, you've got to get on our lead program. I'll go over in more specifics next week about that. But you've got to be able to go to your marketing. And yes, Kim, you're absolutely right. That whole $618, you bet, as well as your gas. Maybe we may do a webinar talking about making sure you're keeping your business expenses. I think most of you guys are up on that. But yes, 100% of that lead cost is all tax deductible. But that being to the side, just that $19.72 a week will give you a $100,000 income when you average 5 applications a week. Let me go over here to a couple questions. If you're having any other, if you've undocked your question mark, I want to probably just take another 5, maybe 10 minutes. I try to keep this as much as I can to 30 minutes, but remember, I grew up being a preacher. So I gave my heart to Christ when I was 12 and started preaching when I was 14, and I don't think I've ever stopped. So if I start sounding preachy, that's why, but it's only because I've got the passion to help others. Yes, you will be able to have a consistent lead flow, and it doesn't have to be in your backyard. No, John, I want you, if you have to drive 2 hours or 3 hours, remember we have Chris down in Dallas, Texas, that drives 4 hours away, and he does that once a week for 2 days. He drives north of Dallas. I believe he's actually in Oklahoma, but he's found what we call a honey spot. If you are able to consistently get 10 to 15 leads a week and you have to drive 4 hours, you're going to do just fine. You may spend $50, $100, go outlandish, and don't do anything more than, we just stayed in a 4-star resort, hotel in Cleveland, Ohio. Yes, they do have those up there, for $75 by going on Priceline.com. I'm not going to waste money. I don't care if you've got money to burn. If you're not going to keep it very long if you don't have that attitude. But anyhow, go on Priceline.com when you know you're going to be going out. And goodness, you can probably find hotels out there for $50 a night, 3-star hotel. Be very, very safe and run leads 2 days a week. Call on Sunday and Monday. Call on Monday and Tuesday. Call within 48 hours and run your Monday and Tuesday because you called all day Saturday, maybe called some Sunday afternoon to be able to set up your 2 days that you're going to run per week. It's really all you need in this business. Run leads 2 days a week, but have at least 5 appointments a day, at least, and you'll be able to have a 6-figure income. Even if you have to drive 4 hours away, you're spending the night in a nice hotel. You're going to go out and help families, and you're going to see a $2,000 to $3,000 income per week. It will be worth being on the road 1 night a week. I promise you. Work with me on and our lead team on getting you in the right lead spots. Stay out of the big cities. I don't want you in Cleveland. I don't want you in Cincinnati. I don't want you in Baltimore. Don't want you in St. Louis. Don't want you in Los Angeles. Find a honey spot that will get out to folks who will be more trusting. Find get into the burbs. Remember when we talk about getting into the burbs? Find a lead program. Work with Holly on our lead team, and she's there to sell leads, guys. So she's never ran a lead in her life. I love her, but she's there to sell leads. And so my point to that is, you know where you want to go. Just because Holly says St. Louis can get you 15 to 20 leads, you come back and you tell her no. Straight up. Now, there are some agents who want that. I don't want my agents there. You're not going to have good results. You're not going to have positive feedback. You're going to have a lot of folks who will no-show you. You're going to have a lot of folks who can't rub two nickels together, and they were been in a government program, and that's how they got our lead. Get into the burbs. Is it better for an agent to call a member on your staff? Leandro, you call me. I've put my number up there, I think someplace else, but 317-450-3662. I will make time for a call. I will do everything I can to have your call answered within 24 hours. If it's a call that you can get answered by my assistant, Rhonda. We're also looking for another assistant. I need a personal assistant. If you're in the Indianapolis area, come in, and if you only have aspirations of $30,000 to $40,000 a year, I need you. Come in and take care of things that I can't take care of, but I hope you have such higher ambitions. However, you know somebody who's semi-retired or somebody who's just looking for that 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, and they are decent on a computer, and they've got to be decent with my agents. Every one of you guys on this call, you're my agents. So if you know somebody in the northeast area of Indianapolis, Noblesville, please send them my way. Can you explain the business model rather than telling us how you can make 116,000? Carol, I think that you've got it right here. Rather than just saying that you can make 116,000, I had to drill that home, but right there is your plan. Hopefully that answered it. If not, call me afterwards. Be more than glad to talk to you about it in greater detail. Should an agent set those appointments or a secretary? Absolutely, you should. A secretary is not invested in those leads. She's going to, if you're not there, hey, you want to set this appointment? Or she's going to slam somebody in an appointment. In 6 years, being in this business for 23 years, I've used appointment setters. They do not work. We have 45 of them in 2 buildings over here on my campus that set appointments for our agents at $25 a piece. And I appreciate them. And if you've used them, you've had good luck with them, then keep going. You're wasting your money, in my opinion. You can do a better job. You'll be more invested in setting that appointment when you call that and you follow my phone script and you set that appointment. They will be there. Is my counsel to you. Got a half a dozen questions here. I will answer offline. Guys, you've been extremely attentive. Thank you for working through our audio glitch there in the beginning, but it is happening for you in 2016. It is happening for you. I know it. You commit today, you start 2016, and I see 116, and it's not going to be in red like we have it on the screen. It will be in the black. You will have that as net over your lead cost, especially when you mix in an IUL, especially when you find people's safe money, like our agent manual that I'll send out next week for all of our registrants. You will see ways of how you can help people with their safe money with single premium whole lives. You heard it earlier. I want you to be an agent to go out and make it happen for your income. I want you to be an agent who goes out and makes it happen for your family. I want you to be an agent who makes it happen for the following, because it'll take care of the first two. Go and make it happen for your client, for the family who's looking to you to protect them. We won't be in our call this Friday, but a week from today, I'll be doing our next steps webinar. Look forward to 2016 and so many of you guys crossing the stage in 2017 as income earners of 100,000 plus. Guys, God bless.